Welcome to Stargate SG1 for the first time, still not a Star Trek podcast. My name is Jeff Aiken, and I'm watching Stargate SG1 for the first time.
And I'm Brent Allen, and I'm also watching Stargate SG1 for the first time. Truth is, I've actually seen this show about 47 times. However, for the very first time, I'm slowing this down, and I'm trying to dive into it and find out what are those good sci-fi messages that Stargate is trying to teach us. You know, those things that hold up a mirror to society, shows how we can be better human beings to one another, or just give us hope that things could be better in the future.
This week, Brett, we're going to see if that happens in the 15th episode of the third season of SG1, Pretense. Now, last week, when I just tried to figure out what it's going to be, made my prediction, went through a couple of different things. I had past tense in my head when I started with pretense, post tense, all those things. No, it's a pretense. And I think General Hammond is going to have a pretense. He's going to put SG1 through the ringer, some rough stuff. And at the end, he'll have something cool like, hey, you passed the test. And now General O'Neill or Lieutenant Jackson or something will happen that's really cool and happy at the very end.
Okay. I'm going to do something I don't usually do, Jeff.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you, you just nailed the episode.
What?
But not for this episode. What
Okay.
you just described is an episode of Stargate.
Like where Hammond messes with him and then, oh, you win. You're promoted.
There's a little more to it than that, but yeah, that is literally what it is. The whole, and that's what the episode is. I will not tell you when we get to that. It is not, however, this episode.
That's fair. That's fair.
But that is the plot line of that, and it's actually one of my favorite episodes. I really like that episode. So
it's a great prediction. It's a great idea for a show. I'm glad they stole it from me. Why don't you tell us the details on Pretense?
Yeah, there's a few details here. This is the 15th episode, season 3. Original air date, Jeff, was January 21st. 2000. So we've had about a 10-week break or so since our last episode of Foothold.
They had to leave some space because of Y2K. Everything could have changed, right? So.
Everything could have. And, they needed holiday breaks and stuff. This is the first episode of the new millennium.
Right?
So we have that one. This is where things start to change a little bit for SG1 as far as their air dates go. And I'll point a few of them out, but I'm not going to do it too much. I'm usually going to go by its air date from the United States.
Okay.
However, SG1 is now premiering in real time on Sky One, which is like the sci-fi channel over in like England, I guess, or something like that, or the UK. And they often get the show before we do.
Oh, wow.
Like they'd have it several days before we do. So as I put out the original air date, I'm going to be referring to the United States airdrop or air date. Not necessarily the Sky One. Why? Because America is where I'm from.
Well, that's what you got. That's probably what all the stuff says. So.
Yeah. So, but I may from time to time point out the Sky One date. I believe this particular Sky One date was January 19th. So 2 days before. Writer for this episode is written by our old friend Catherine Powers.
Oh, I'm going to call her Thor's Powers.
Thor's Powers. I will not say anything more about this episode because I really want you to have your own experience of it, uncolored by my like or dislike. Catherine Powers has had some really awful episodes. She's also had some really good episodes, though.
Yeah, she's kind of one or the other.
Yeah. So the question is, which one is this episode going to fall in? That's going to be for you to decide, my friend.
All right. There's a lot of pressure, and I'm a little nervous.
Well, with that, we are going to go watch this episode. If you're just joining us for the first time, first of all, welcome. You're amazing. We're so glad you found us. Here's how this works. We're about to go watch this episode. Like right now, we're going to not even break this video. If you're watching the video, you're watching us on YouTube, hang out because you're going to catch our reaction. Jeff and I are going to watch it right now. If you're watching us on Patreon, you actually get the full unedited version. And if you guys want to find out more about that, you can head over to patreon.com/.
Bad nerds.
If you're listening on a podcast app, you're about to gate into the future. We'll be there waiting for you on the other side, where I'll share my first-time reactions. Brent will go through the sci-fi messages that he found. So let's kick this bad boy off. Brent, Pretense. Except that ship had to be like the slowest thing ever.
Dude, that's pretty baller for a crash landing right there.
Right?
Wing rips off and everything.
Run towards the wreckage. We don't know what it is, but get in there.
Explode.
Oh! Chlorel, right?
Help
Or-
me.
Skara. They're bringing them all back. We kill Sha're Amanette. We bring back Apophis. Now we got Chlorel Skara.
Is it my eyes, or does it ours look kind of...
It's losing integrity.
Aww.
Fire!
Stop! It's a kitty cat. Oh, kitty cat.
That cat is going to scratch your eye out, Sam.
It's Schrodinger, cat I gave to the Tolan Nareem.
The Tolan possess the technology to walk through solid matter.
Thank you,
A
Tilk, for
technology
reminding
which,
us.
by the way, if you all recall, they refused to share with us.
Thank you, Jack, for reminding us. Oh, there he is.
General Hammond, I'm unfamiliar with Earth protocol in these matters. I sent Schrodinger so you would know a friend was coming.
It's all right, Nareem. The Tolan are welcome here.
That's a
Good,
good thing,
stand
because they
up.
would have shot you.
We were ready to unload.
So much for impenetrable Iris.
It's good to see you again.
So,
He's totally-
for the record, one of the things we're counting is Sam boyfriends.
Yeah.
We have
haven't counted-
already counted this guy.
Did we count Noreen? We did.
Yeah,
That's right.
we have. We've already counted Nareem.
Because they had their
So-
night under the stars and they did all this
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Okay,
In fact,
that's
I think
great.
it might have been the Tolan episode. No, I think it was once we got to Martouf. But whatever. We've already counted, this guy. So we're not going to count him again, but let's just recognize that. Well, I don't know, Jeff, what do you say? Because
No.
it's been a season and a half, almost 2 seasons since we've seen this guy.
Love like that never fizzles out. It stays alive.
So we're gonna just call it same boyfriend. He's just back again.
Mm-hmm.
I guess because we're not going to count Martouf every time we see him.
No.
Because him and Sam always have a weird sexual tension every time they're on screen, and they should.
They should.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Especially after last time.
What can we do for you, Nareem?
I am here to deliver a message from our highest governing body, Colonel Neal. The Tolan
Colonel
Courier
O'Neill's your highest
requests the
governing
presence of
body?
You and your team for Triad.
So, who's on trial? Triad.
The decision the Triad must reach is of great concern to an old friend of yours. He is an Abydonian by the name of Skara.
What?
It is he who requested your presence,
There's a lot of weird
Lines of
accents
Hayes.
going on.
It is
Skara,
but he does
Triel.
need your help for Triad.
Where's this taking place?
Our destination is the new homeworld, Tolana. The Nox and the Tolan were able to devise a way to get us there.
Tolan.
Of course you were. Way smarter than we are.
They're way smarter than we are.
Interesting that called him Skara, not Chlorel.
So did you hear? It was Skara's voice who said, "Help me." And
It
he
didn't
passed
have the
out.
Goa'uld thing
It wasn't
going,
the
right.
Goa'uld thing going. But you have also seen, Jeff. I believe. Have you? Yeah, you've seen Goa'uld speak without using the blah, blah, blah voice
Yes.
too. Like they don't
Yeah.
always have to use that voice for. So
It can turn it off and on.
yes, but yeah. So Skara has requested Jack's presence specifically at Triad.
Is he pregnant? So now the real person gets to come through?
Only one way to find out.
Right?
Look at this. Which I like that Tolana is represented on a university campus, given how much smarter they are than us. I like oh yeah. Okay, that's cool.
These must be our visitors from Earth. Welcome.
With respect, High Chancellor, Nareem didn't really explain the triad very well. Could you please define those terms for us?
He just threw Nareem straight under the
In
bus.
Triad, there are two arguing parties, called Seekers. Triadic law requires one Archon, who's sympathetic to each cause, and one neutral Archon. The Archons argue the dispute until a decision is reached.
So a seeker is like a defendant, and the Archon is his attorney. I got it.
Are you looking at the
Ban-
banner in the background?
Yeah.
Skara?
Looks a lot like Apophysis thing.
It is.
You pay for what you did to my father.
Hey, funny
Good to see you,
story.
too.
Red indicates it is Chlorel who speaks. Blue, Skara.
Nice device.
I like that they put Red as the bad guy.
As
Blue
you
is
may
a good
recall
guy.
from our last
Make it
encounter,
super
it is
clear.
forbidden for the Tolan to give our technology to any culture less advanced than our own.
Still got that arrogance bug, I see.
It is I,
100%.
Juanir.
Star Trek on SG1.
Are you not happy to see me? Juanir is strong. Tanir is wise. May I not choose both?
You may. They may both argue. However, they will have but one vote.
Okay, what's this triad about?
Seems like a
What's
really
supposed to be
reasonable
decided?
justice system.
2 days ago, a small
Seems
Goa'uld
like.
vessel crashed in a remote area. The occupant was badly injured. It was Skara.
We were fleeing a battle group dispatched by Heruer. My demon knew that the Dwellans would stop them.
Which we did. We warned them, but they came anyway. Our defense grid was forced to destroy them.
I like how he actually seems to feel bad about
No.
killing Harrower.
But two of his motherships are destroyed.
When our sentries reached the crashed vessel, Skara asked us to free him of his Goa'uld, but the Goa'uld refuses. Therefore, under total law, we have no choice but to hear both arguments before acting.
And Chlorel's Archon is who?
This is fascinating to me because it's like, I mean, joking that they are Star Trek on SG1, but like this is like elevated Star Trek of, hey, so we know these Goa'uld are no good.
Yeah.
Anywhere else, if Skara showed up, he's like, I want to get this thing out of me. They'd be like, okay, get on the table, let's do it. But they're like, no, you're both sentient beings.
Yeah.
You both have a say, and we're going to hear you out and make a decision.
Yeah.
Wow.
What is it possible that the Goa'uld actually has a claim to this body that is legit to be heard? And the fact that they're even giving him a voice to say that and not just automatically like, yeah, you stole dude's body. Like, you know?
Yeah, game set match, but no, like we're gonna hear you out. This is evolved kind of stuff going on here.
But again, go back. So Nareem's like, yeah, we told him not to come, and he did, and I just feel so bad that we blew up his people and his ships, and like, dude, that's the bad guy,
right?
You know. But to him, it's not a bad guy. To the Nox, remember the Nox?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't look at Apophis and SG1 as good guy, bad guy. They both you know what it is? I mean, it's Star Trek on Stargate. Yep. They both valued life.
Exactly.
We have evolved to being above conflict and war. We can defend ourselves if we need to. The Nox can hide. Surely the Nox has other types of weaponry that because they're super pacifist, right?
Yeah.
They're just going to not be there. It almost seems like they just phase out. Like, okay, we'll just go where you can't get us. It's okay.
Peace. We'll see you.
Yep. The Tolan don't do that, but they defend themselves, but at great heartache almost, you know? So
yeah, it's a great scene. This is wild stuff. Do I have to wear one of those? Ask the question, Jack. Ask the question.
My Lord Sapakna, we are honored that you have agreed to participate in Triad.
She's addressing him exactly how she addressed Jack.
Motherships. It appears I do not have a choice.
We have asked our friends to send someone capable of remaining neutral. I believe you have met.
Yep. Heck yeah.
I may have had knocks on the brain when.
It is good to see you once again, friends.
I'm always sad that it's not Armin Shimmer.
Well,
seriously, right?
Yeah. At the beach.
Accident waiting for a place to happen.
I have so much,
Mr. Negative.
so much scratch.
They're ready for you.
Thank you.
In case you need to know, his name is Zapakna.
Zapakna.
Carter,
I wonder how much they
you
spent on all
guilty
those
lions,
banners.
kids.
Yes, sir.
Got the Earth thing
See what
back
they're up
there,
to.
the Apophis thing.
So the Earth one, the Earth banner back there,
This dispute involves
is
two
the
sentient beings.
is the Stargate symbol for Earth.
Yeah.
The Apophis one it has Apophis' symbol on one, but then below it has the Stargate symbol for Abydos.
Oh, really?
So his banner is both Apophis, Chlorel, and Abydos, Skara, like split.
It's so cool because not only are they acknowledging all this stuff, but also they're just fully embracing both persons.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's a heady up. Like,
yeah.
Anyway, let's get into it.
If a human has the right to take an animal's body and do with it as he pleases, because he is a superior being, and so does a Goa'uld. And by that argument alone, the Goa'uld has priority.
It's a good
And
argument.
the host belongs to Chloro.
I reckon this guy, the actor, is a tough from a lot of like early
Do the human
2000s stuff.
Archons wish to
He's
respond?
doing a great job in this
Yes,
role.
ma'am.
He's one of those that guy actors. Like, I know that guy. I can't place him off the top of my head, but I know that guy.
He was in Walking Tall with The Rock, if I remember right.
Your argument is flawed in oh so many ways.
Daniel's
Humans
very
are
patient.
self-aware. Animals aren't.
Animals are not because you deem them not to be, just as we deem humans not to be.
What my learned colleague means is that humans have a more advanced intelligence than lower caste animals.
Exactly, just like
Do they, though?
My point is that the Goa'uld consider ourselves more intelligent than human. Our technology is more advanced than yours. Our mere knowledge of the universe is more advanced than yours.
You stole that knowledge.
You
Conquered and acquired.
took
Right, yeah.
human knowledge when you took humans as hosts, just as you took knowledge from other species. The Stargate isn't your technology. You took that. As far as we know, nothing you have came from you. So clearly the evidence is not that you're more intelligent, just more parasitic.
Oof.
The method of gaining the knowledge is not a question.
Sorry, Dana. Can I say something?
Please don't. You're not being helpful.
Skara, you once told me you'd rather die than live another day as a Goa'uld. Why?
What I suffer each day is worse than death. I remember the demon stretching out my hand to kill Danya, the husband of my sister. There was nothing I could do to stop it. And I have seen many more, far worse atrocities than this.
I demand that the humans stay on topic.
It is on topic. You just want to avoid talking about all the nasty stuff he's witnessed.
The host witnesses nothing, since nothing of the host survives.
You know, at that point, I think you're literally talking to the host.
Right, yeah. It's like, I beg to differ. I have a blue light right here that says I'm still here.
What are they doing?
They have to remind us that they're actually baddies, right? There's like, don't buy into this stuff too much, everybody. They're up to no good.
Lord Zapokna, I'd like to ask you a question, if I may.
I hope I have the answer.
I'm sure you will.
Allow Major Carter and myself to continue monitoring the Goa'uld contingent in case of...
Excuse my
Each
interruption.
of the many. There's so many
Try to
themes
resume.
this episode is hitting on.
Got your orders.
The odds Tilk does not stand down.
Teal'c, you must not mention Chlorel or Skara. If you do, I will be forced to report the matter to the Tolan.
I will only mention my heart, which belongs to you.
What is it then?
I would never do such a thing, nor do I feel the need.
Lighting on his face looks
I am here,
incredible.
in fact, in direct violation of an order given by Colonel O'Neill.
Go on.
I have become convinced that the Goa'uld are planning to destroy all of the Tolan weapon installations simultaneously, thereby preventing them from ever returning fire. The Goa'uld will then attack this world, which will be defenseless.
Why do you tell me this?
I
So you
believe
can
that
knock
and
some
I are
around.
the only ones capable of preventing this tragedy from occurring.
You and I. Teal'c, you are a strong warrior, but I am of the Nox. If you've learned anything of us, you've learned that we defend ourselves through illusion and mastery of the mind.
Precisely.
Tilk's a smart cookie, dude.
Right? Yeah. You talk about how they haven't lived strategically. That's the only way he lives, right?
Okay,
Like,
so he says precisely. Tilk has something up his sleeve. He's got something up his mind. Most people just continue watching the show right now and find out exactly what it is. But I'm going to pause it and I'm going to force you to talk it out and tell me what was the conversation that followed for Tilk after they cut that scene?
well, it's how they're going to use her ability essentially to, I think, to create, this is where pretense comes into the whole thing, create a situation where they believe that they were successful in shutting down or painting or whatever the weaponry, so that when they do make a move to attack, they're ready for it. And they're like, look at you with your pants down.
Let's see if that's what happens. You're a good guesser, Jeff.
Yeah, clearly.
But either way, I'm sorry. Let's just say Teal'c kept his end of the bargain. I'm not talking about Scar or Chlorel. I'm not trying
Right.
to influence you against the Goa'uld. I'm not talking about Triad.
Also, he's not necessarily at this point following the Jaffa around, or so like, yeah, he talked about it, but he's staying cool to O'Neill and Laya both.
Yep.
If you award priority to Skara, then it is as a death sentence for Chlorel.
Of course, if you flip that around, you got Skara on death row.
He's already dead.
Yes, but as you proved earlier in Triad, the host survives.
Yeah.
Wow.
We concede this point. Therefore, if you award priority to Chlorel, both host and symbiote live.
Filing my motion for summary dismissal.
One lives freely, the other lives as a slave.
We would put forth that life as a slave is not life at all.
And if you want to save both lives, give us Skara, and you take Chlorel.
Perhaps you could find someone who would choose to be a host.
Seems like a fair compromise.
Narim, what is the meaning of this? You know Triad is held as a closed session.
And so do we now.
Your Eminence, please adjust your viewer to the orbital observatory.
A Goa'uld mothership?
Yes. It approaches Talana.
Looky, looky, looky. It's a Pachna's black book. Caught you red-handed, my friend.
It is merely coming to take us along.
Let's just take a Stargate like the rest of us.
Not that it is of your concern, but there is no Shapa Eye where we are going.
Well, then gate to where there is one and get picked up.
Your Eminence, if our intentions were hostile, we would have attacked.
Shapai? Where we're going, we don't need a Shapai. Sorry.
Hey, Jeff, it's Chapa Eye.
Chapai! Chapai? Where we're going, we don't need a Chapai.
After careful consideration, I believe that both Chlorel and Skara have the right to live. But living as a host with no will of one's own is not life. Therefore, only one may remain in the body. To that end, I award priority to the original owner of the body, Skara.
Yes. Now get that mothership out of here.
Fire!
We summon the
Fire!
Tok'ra to come to Tolana to assist in the removal of the Goa'uld Chlorel. He will be removed from the host, and if he survives, will be sent to the Goa'uld world of his choice.
How are they going to ask him?
Yeah.
I have locked the detachment device. Skara, you have priority control until the Goa'uld is removed. Prepare yourself. The Tok'ra will arrive as soon as possible, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Kind of weird they can just call the Tok'ra who live in
Lord
hiding.
Zapakna,
Right.
you are dismissed. With our thanks.
You can leave quickly. Your mothership is conveniently already here.
Liatak. Rinakatak.
Hey!
Nice. Brutus the Barber beefcake right there.
Right?
Go!
Uh-oh.
The ion cannons.
Got a deadlock on all of them. You know, I hate when people waste my time like this.
Colonel!
Hunter!
I must inform you, O'Neill, that I have disregarded your orders concerning the Goa'uld.
Please explain.
Dude, so their little like invisibility thing is also a transporter. It's crazy.
I have a feeling it's going to be plot. Oh, we need it to do this.
You hid one of them.
That is correct. Javel explained it would take but one of these to destroy a Goa'uld mothership. It should have already fired.
Well, it hasn't.
Joke gets to get in and shoot it.
Goosh, 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 goosh.
I honestly don't remember how this ends right now. Like, oh, there you go. Dude, look at this shot.
Right?
Like, for a television show. Like, we always talked about that on Babylon 5. Like, just the graphics that they had for back then. I mean, that's...
Spent a lot of money this season on stuff. Just
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago with the two-parter.
Very nice.
They blew up 3 gold motherships in this episode.
And showed all of them. And they took a scene from Return of the Jedi.
You disregarded my warnings.
Mine too. Well done.
If you were my subject, I would be forced to discipline you. However,
I welcome your discipline.
you are not one of my subjects.
It could not have been done without the assistance of Laia.
She's also not one of my subjects.
Pacifist. Only hid the weapon. I did not fire it.
How's that hair? Split it right down the middle.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, at least she
So-
admits it.
We basically saved your whole planet, right?
Yes,
Are you therefore indebted to us in any modest way?
I suppose that is the case.
So how about giving us the plans to build one of those ion cannons?
You have been told our policy. That has not changed.
The Tok'ra have completed the procedure.
Yeah?
That's Chlorel.
What will become of Chlorel?
He will be sent to a Goa'uld world.
To hell with him.
One
What
here.
about- Much better.
Jeff, we have just got done watching this episode, Pretense. I told you last week, Jeff, that it wouldn't be until you saw the episode that you would understand the title of the episode. So now I put it to you. Do you understand what Pretense was about? And take us through your first time watch. Was it good? I personally love this episode. I watched this episode a lot. I love this episode, but I've seen it 47 times. How about you as a first watch? Is it any good?
People give Star Trek a lot of credit for really nailing court episodes, right? You've got, Measure of a Man. You got that one they did in Strange New Worlds that was really well done. A whole bunch of other ones. They do court episodes.
The one in Lower Decks was phenomenal.
It was so good. Like, it's just
it was so funny too. the big horn and everything.
And then it was actually like for a fun thing or whatever.
Right. It was like a surprise party or something turned into.
So awesome. But I think that in that shadow, the mighty shadow that Star Trek casts, huge beaming things like this episode SG1 don't get a chance necessarily to shine out in the geek vernacular. This was an amazing court episode. I loved so much about this one. And here's where I think it exceeds a lot of the other court episodes as well, is it had some really good action in it as well that was entirely unexpected. You have the big explosion in the beginning, the two motherships getting blowed up while Skara Chlorel is flying down really, really slowly in a death glider and then crashes. Like, oh, okay, so that's just setting this stuff up. And then you have kind of the side B story of them painting the ion cannons, and it's like, oh, okay, they're doing this. Maybe there'll be a little attack or whatever. But then like the whole climax isn't the rendering of the verdict. The climax is the actual attack. And for me, I saw the attack coming, but I didn't see that being the pinnacle of the episode. The way they handled the court aspect of this was brilliant. I think I hope that we get some more of Lord Zapakna. I liked him. He is a good advocate or good Archon, a good Archon.
Yeah. Hey, can we talk about him real quick?
Yeah.
Lord Zapakna. Hey, let's roll out our God-Goddess check.
Boom, 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 boom.
So Zapakna is a real god of the ancient world. He's a Mayan god. He is often depicted as a large caiman, which is an alligator type creature. Looks almost indistinguishable from an alligator. I don't know what the difference is. I'm not a zoologist. But he is the demonic personification of the Earth's crust.
Wow.
He is the brother of the Mayan god Earthquake.
Oh, okay.
So, I guess an earthquake is those two tumbling. I don't know what it is. But yeah, he is not a good guy. He's very tricky. He's very messes with people and not in a good way. Kind of a god. So that is a little bit of real world history on Zapakna.
That's cool. Explains his outfit.
Explains the outfit quite a bit. Mayan.
Yeah. Which is a little weird, but it's for them. That's perfect. And it's awesome. I had the chance to tour the Mayan ruins many, many years ago and in the Yucatan Peninsula. If you ever have the chance, it's quite an experience. And that's cool that he is real. And we saw that's what he was doing in this episode. He was messing with people, but doing so in like a legal framework.
Yeah.
It was done really, really well. He made compelling arguments, made sense.
Think about what you just said there, Jeff. He made compelling arguments as to why a Goa'uld is within his rights to take a human host.
We as humans, and sci-fi is guilty of this for apparent reasons. We're humans telling human stories. That's what sci-fi is about. But we put ourselves at the top of everything, right? The top of the food chain, the top evolutionarily, everything. This episode basically came in and said, what if you're not the top of that? What if we, as the Goa'uld, are on top of you? And so we get the way you treat the things you see as lower, we get to treat you that way. Maybe if we could understand the language of horses or trees or anything, they'd be telling us, stop, get off of me. This hurts. I hate it. And it's humiliating. It hurts when you chop me down.
Or they would say, would you please get back on so I can do this? Because I love doing this with you.
I like being able to help you out. This is so much fun.
I like racing. I'll tell you what, if you've ever been around thoroughbred horses, those horses know what they're doing when they're out there racing. They're not just chasing a rabbit running around on a rail. They know they're in a race. They're looking at the other horses. They know what's up. I promise you.
Yeah.
Have I ever heard a horse speak? No, I haven't. But I'm telling you, they know, man. They know.
Mr. Ed was not a thoroughbred. So
No, he was not. No, he was not. But maybe the trees would be like the giving tree, like, here, take my stuff. This is for you. Or maybe they'd be like, ouch, stop, please.
Yeah, stop it.
I'm trying to breathe.
Giving Tree, by the way, is such an incredible book.
Incredible.
Like, if you read that book and you don't tear up a little bit, I'm sorry. Like, it's just so powerful.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, can I throw a juxtaposition out at you with that?
Of course.
So you talk about what if the Goa'uld are actually on top of the humans, and the humans now get to speak. Do the Tolan not also treat humans the exact same way?
How do you mean?
We don't share our technology with lesser developed people.
So I think there's a difference in not sharing the technology and enslaving you.
Yes, but do or do not the Tolan still consider themselves superior to Earthlings?
Absolutely. But I think it's a different type of superior. So I am superior to, I am technologically superior to, I don't know, somebody in the deep reaches of the Amazon in Brazil or something like that. So I am superior to that person technologically. I don't see myself as superior to them in any form of hierarchy that would allow me to take advantage of them.
That's fair.
And I think that's the argument that Zapakna was making, was that you see yourself as above all these animals, these beasts of burden, and as a result, you take advantage of them. We see humans that way, and so we take advantage of you. You happen to have speech, good for you. We're still superior to you. But with that, them not sharing technology, 100% the Tolan are Star Trek in SG1. Prime Directive.
I have never thought about that before, Jeff, but you said that 3 or 4 times throughout the course of this episode, and I went, yeah. You walk onto Talana, it's like, hey, I'm in the Federation. Did it not look like Starfleet headquarters in San Francisco?
100%. Like, it's why this has to have been intentional, because I think what they even did is they took the ideal of Starfleet, the Federation, and ramped it up a notch, right? Because what do we see throughout Star Trek is, those damn Klingons. I can never forgive them for the death of my son. We see Jack O'Neill, right, in a lot of the stuff in there of, hey, I'm here to do good stuff. Also, automatically these people are bad. They take it up a step with the Tolan, where, these Goa'uld tried to attack us. Also, it breaks my heart that we had to attack and kill them. It's the most horrible thing.
Well, we defended ourselves, and they resulted in their deaths. We told them not to come. We told them not to do that, and they did it anyway, and now I feel bad. And what does that say about their value system, how they value life,
and how they respect life as well? Because what we see is 3 very different parties in the Goa'uld and Zapakna. In the SG1 team is humans, and then Laia, the Nox, who shows up. And I gotta tell you, anytime the Nox show up, that knocks the episode up a Nox or 2. A big one. Dude, I did. Yeah.
See what you did there.
But it really does. They're such a fascinating, like the Tolan to me now, they're cool. They're fascinating still, but they are Star Trek. The Nox are still kind of mysterious and just interesting to me. But they had these 3 very different groups show up, and they treated them all with the same level of dignity, the same level of respect. When Laia showed up, she didn't get like red carpet and all this stuff, but she got treated very well and very respectfully. Now I have a question. In the 2 motherships that blowed up early in the episode, I feel like I heard this, but I want to confirm that her was on one of the motherships and he dead now. Is that what I heard?
It was his motherships who were coming after them. He was not necessarily on board one of them. He owns more. It's like we own more than one aircraft carrier as a Navy, slash mothership.
Okay.
It's just,
so
just motherships.
2 of his forces. Okay. So I wanted to be clear on that, because I felt like if they just killed him, that kind of just flew by real fast and didn't get any attention. At the end of the episode, you made an observation, and at the same time, I was marking down a question, and I think I remember the answer to this, but I'm not sure. You made the observation that Skara ran up to hug Sam. They don't know each other. Sam has only known Skara as Clarel the whole time, so it's interesting they're hugging. You said, hey, they're new friends, and that's great. They're happy to see each other. I wonder Is Skara gonna have any of Chlorel's memories, emotions? Is there any part of Chlorel that's left in Skara? Now, if I remember right, with Jolinar, some of that happened because Jolinar died in Sam, so there was like
and absorbed into Sam. Yeah.
And so that's why she has it, but to the level that she does, I'm curious if there's any bit of Chlorel that's left in Scar, or if it's a clean break. And that's why I thought maybe they were hugging, because they're like, hey, we're blenders. Like we both was blended. And so we got that in common.
Those two, and then that girl Kendra from the Thor's hammer planet. Yeah.
Captain Powers seems to be all about these people getting the Goa'ulds pulled out of them.
Right. Put a pin in that idea, Jeff. It'll be a very long time, but eventually we can, I'm not going to say we're going to answer that question, but we will be able to address it with a little more information. But I will also say, do remember one thing Scar is going to go through with all of this. He's going to need some therapy.
A little.
Because he remembers everything. So even if he doesn't retain the knowledge of the Goa'uld and the memories of the Goa'uld, he does at least retain the knowledge that he gained while he was serving as host to Chlorel, and whatever gets left behind in Scar's own mind, because the host does survive.
Which brings up some interesting questions when we talk about the Harcesis and how the Harcesis's whole thing. Wow, Harcesis's whole thing. I hope I've got a de-esser on this thing. That probably sounded terrible otherwise. But the whole thing is that knows everything of all the Goa'uld of all time, right? But here we have one who hung out with Apophis, got some real firsthand stuff, and he was just watching. Scar was watching the whole thing. I wonder if he knows where Keb is.
Yeah, do you think the Pentagon might be interested in having a conversation with Skara?
Couple, maybe one or two conversations.
Yeah. I don't think Jack's going to give him over, but whatever.
Right. But might be a thing they have to work through. I found it interesting that they called the Tok'ra to pull Chlorel out of Scar for a couple of reasons. One was, aren't the Tok'ra like in hiding? And they just like 1-800 the Tok'ra. Hey, we got the guy here. Also, I found it interesting that the Tok'ra have technology to extract a Goa'uld from a host, but the Tolan don't.
Well, the Tok'ra, that's their thing. Like they are Goa'uld, so to speak. So the Tolan.
Well, the Tolan made a whole thing so that you could have the host and the symbiote talk.
Okay, do you get the idea that they just made that for this situation? Like they just whipped it up real quick?
Maybe.
Or is this something that they've had the designs and plans on, and that's been chilling in a vault somewhere for a while?
That was the impression I got. I was like, yeah, we have this technology that does this thing, so we just did it.
I think I've always thought about it that way, is they've just always had it, until I watched this episode. And I remember thinking, like, during the course of this episode going, did they just, do they mean they just created that? Like right now? I've never considered that before.
Okay, we need this thing. Poof, there it is. Yet they still don't have a way to extract the symbiote from a host.
It's a much more delicate process, I guess.
Apparently. I mean, it's just plot whatever.
But also what you learn from that, though, is the Tolan, the Nox, and
the Tok'ra
are at least in communication with each other and have open doors of communication. Is anybody else included in that list?
Right. It's interesting to me too. Let's go down, because the Nox are one of the 4 races. The now soon to be 5 races, right?
I was just wondering if you knew who the 4 races were. So
yeah, because they named them out, right?
Yeah,
so
there's
there's the Nox, there's the Asgard, there's the I forget. There's one they mentioned that had some weird name. We haven't seen them.
We haven't seen the other 2 yet.
Okay, they named all.
I'm not going to tell you if we're ever going to see them or not either. So.
Okay, there's one. I just remember one of them. I was like, oh, I don't remember that one. But
there's the Furlings.
That's the one I was thinking of. Yeah.
And then who's the 4th one? Do you remember?
Oh, the Ancients.
Those were the builders of the Stargate.
Yeah. So those are the 4. I find it kind of interesting though that the Tolan. Well, maybe they're not quite, but they seem like they're all in touch, right? So they said humanity is going to be the 5th race. Where do the Tolan figure into that? Because they seem to be pretty advanced.
I just always figured that the Tolan are some offshoot of humanity that freed themselves from Goa'uld rule or or whatever, and they just advanced way faster than we did here on Earth.
Okay.
Like I don't see the Tolan as physically different than humans.
So it's almost like
Whereas
there's
the
humans.
Nox are physically different.
It's like there's the humans, and you have like a Canadian human and an American human.
Yeah.
Here you have humans, and you have an Earth human and a Tolan human.
That's my impression. I can't say, like, obviously the Asgard are a completely different race.
Very much so.
You would assume the Furlings are a completely different race. You would assume the Ancients, whatever they are, is a completely different race.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So-
We, Brent, need to update our tracking board.
We do. Do we
So
have
we
any
have
trackings to update for today?
I didn't get any for crying out louds, no indeeds.
Oh.
We had a conversation about Sam and her
We did.
boyfriends.
I will say we did get, there was one part where Jack went, "Oh, please," which was for crying out loud. Like it was the exact same intonation. It was the exact same thing, but he didn't say the words.
and they
Gotta say the
chose not
words.
to do it. That was a
Yeah.
conscious choice.
Words. Gotta say the words. I am shocked at how little we have updated this tracking board this season.
Yeah, season 3
feel
has
like we should
not
do
had a
more.
lot at all. It's
No,
disappointing.
no.
I think though,
Because
if we were, as I said, if we think about though, if we're tracking Wizard of Oz references, there's been a couple of those.
There's been several of those. Yeah. Simpsons references, real,
Mm-hmm.
they come in a bunch and yeah.
One of the big notes that I have on this, I'm going to hand over to you, is all of the many themes that were covered in this episode in great depth and detail. I spent a lot longer talking about my first time reactions to this than I planned. We have a lot to talk about in this next section. Brent, why don't you start talking about the sci-fi messages we pulled, and when we get through those, you're going to rate this episode on a scale of 0 to 7 chevrons as to how strong those messages were.
Jeff, there is an art to picking out these messages.
Yep.
We have sort of developed a litmus test that we use about the sci-fi messages. Is it a hope for a better future, a mirror to society, or does it tell us how to be better human beings to one another? That's not to say that those are the only types of sci-fi messages that get put out there. I think this one expands that on some other levels. Jeff, I have so many notes on this particular section, but what I'm realizing is this is still a Catherine Powers episode.
Mm-hmm.
And what Catherine Powers does is she presents issues. She puts issues out there. She doesn't tend to discuss them, and then they tend to not really go anywhere.
Right. It's just kind of,
But what she did in this episode was she put so many of them in there.
Right. Push.
And then didn't discuss them. Hey, you and animals. You use animals? Do you do this thing with animals? Well, we decide that we're bigger than animals than you are. And then we didn't hear anything else about it for the rest of the episode. It's a phenomenal idea. You're like, oh my God, what says that we're higher than animals? Where do we go with that? How do we treat our animals?
Uh-huh.
Are we treating our animals with respect and with gratitude, but we are still using them as beasts of burden and as food and as
clothing?
Are we treating them as lower class, lower than beings than what we ourselves are? There's such a thing I think that we're being talked about here with arrogance. What is your arrogance as top of the food chain? The Tolan arrogance almost was their undoing.
100%.
There's no way that they're going to get past our ion cannons. There's
It's impossible.
nothing they can do. It's impenetrable alloys. There's painting. They're never, before they could do that, they could try to come all out at once. That's never going to happen. How's your arrogance? Hey, how's our arrogance as a country? Do we really, are we really going to take anybody out, whoever comes and tests us? What does our arrogance do? We hit a really good example when I talk about hope for the future. You talk about the Tolan being Star Trek and Stargate. Can we as a society get to a spot? We just got a really good, clear example of a society that has gotten past the need for war, but they're still able to defend themselves if they need to. They seem to have gotten in let's just assume that that's what it is, because it certainly presents itself as this is a planet that does not have poverty. This is a planet that does not go without. This is a planet that has plenty of resources for all of its population. This is a planet where everybody seems super chill. I mean, Nareem is about as chill as you gonna get.
I know when he comes in, when the Goa'uld are starting to attack, he just walks in.
Yeah.
You should probably look at this thing on your view screen. Just check that out.
That's like his level of excitement goes up to 4. To even having such respect and such regard for life that killing even in your own defense is sickening to you. Oh wait, I'm sorry. To have such respect for life that you could look at a creature such as the Goa'uld and go, maybe it has a point. Let's hear it out and actually hold that and not just summarily dismiss it for what it is. They showed us that. Did they discuss it? Did they go anywhere with it? Did they lead us to any one conclusion or the other? Not really. There's also this other one. The Goa'uld convinced themselves, and I want to dive into this one just for a second. The Goa'uld convince themselves. They make them feel better about what they do by lying to themselves. Nothing of the host remains. Nothing of the host remains. Well, what is that? That's just a remnant. That's not the host. Even when it's staring you in the face, even when it's having a conversation, yeah, that's not really the host. Nothing of the host remains. What about your host? Nothing. When he's looked at Zapog and said, is your host in there somewhere? He goes, no, nothing of the host remains, right? This particular idea reminds me of what I think is probably, Jeff, the single most important podcast episode I have ever recorded in my life. Was for the show Beam Me Up, a Star Trek podcast I did. It was on the episode Far Beyond the Stars, and it's the only episode where Matt was with me when we had a guest on.
Yeah. This is
the only episode. You've heard that episode
many times, actually.
And just to be clear, while the episode of Star Trek Far Beyond the Stars is a great episode and a powerful episode, you're talking about the podcast episode.
I am talking about the Beam Me Up, a Star Trek podcast, episode for that one.
And the reason for that is I had a friend of mine on, Jessica, who is a Black female, who discussed in really clear depth, and Matt and I were able just to sit back and go, here, you go. I don't have to put words in your mouth. And she did such a great, eloquent job in a respectful way of addressing things. And one of Jessica's stories, and I encourage everybody to go listen to that episode, not because I need more download numbers. I literally think everybody should hear this one episode, if nothing else.
Agreed.
But she talks about, and I was there for this. I personally witnessed this one. Okay. In other ways, because her daughter was staying with us while this was going on. When she was giving birth to her son, her second born, her son, she almost died. And the reason she almost died is because the doctors did not believe her when she talked about a pain that she was having that was abnormal. And she began to illustrate how it literally took her husband going in and getting somebody else and bringing somebody in who finally listened. And how the idea, and this is very sickening to me, and it has been confirmed, but there are physician texts that teach that Black people have a much higher pain tolerance and feel pain in a different way, or much lower, whichever direction it goes, but they feel pain in a different way than what white people do. And so you can do things to them and it doesn't really matter. Okay, let's rewind. The issue of slavery, and I want to be clear, I'm not just talking about American slavery. I'm going to talk about slavery throughout all of history, across the entire world, and that includes slavery that's going on today. The only way that you can enslave another human being is if you determine that that person is lower than you are. By what evidence? No evidence. You just lie to yourself and you tell yourself that person is lower than I am. It is the only way. I believe it's something smaller brains. They're not as developed. They're not, they can handle the stress of slavery and working in the fields, that type of slavery, because they're basically beasts of burden. They're animals. They can handle it. It's not that big of a deal to them. They don't feel heat the same way. They don't burn the same way. So they can go do that. We're higher on the food chain. It's our destiny, disgusting, gross.
Every argument you're making, though, is exactly what Zapokno is saying about humans. Like this isn't like just, I'm going to like loosely relate these things. Beat for beat, Zapokno is like, you're not as smart. You're not as this. You're not as that. So you don't experience things the same. And there's nothing left of you. This is a beat for beat, dead on comparison. That's disgusting.
And then you get this idea that gets thrown in there. Is life of a slave really life at all that they address? Because they actually did go to that one.
Mm-hmm.
All of those things, Jeff, I talk about this. This is an episode where it has all of these great Star Trek ideas, right? The great sci-fi messages that it's just doing. But it's like, instead of like picking one and just a cannon shot to the heart, it's just, I'm picking up all these little pebbles. I'm just going to throw them at you. And they're all going to hit.
Yeah.
Every single one of them is going to hit, but we're not going to do much with them. This episode, though, Jeff, at the end of the day, it all leads to one question. What makes an individual an individual? What makes a human a human? What gives a person humanity? This episode, Jeff, in my opinion, is Stargate's measure of a man.
Yeah.
Except what we don't get is somebody sitting there saying, we were created to seek out new life. Well, there it sits. We don't get this is the right answer. I kind of like it that way.
Yeah.
So how do I rank this? I'm sorry. How do I rate this? A scale of 0 to 7 chevrons, Jeff.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to, we have to talk about intentionality because we always do. Okay. It's there.
Yeah. That's the point of the episode.
This is a Catherine Powers episode. This is how she writes her episodes, right? So, okay, can I give it 7? I can't, because none of these questions did it really discuss and really look at. But there were so many, and they're all great. And how long have I been talking about this, Jeff? Now for 15 minutes, almost 10 minutes. Oh my gosh. And if you and I were to actually have a discussion on any one of these, we'll go for another hour.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I don't know that I can give it 7 because it didn't really discuss it, but it threw so many out there. I don't know how I go much lower than 5. So do I meet it in the middle and say 6? I think that's what I got to do. I got to go 6 chevrons on this one, Jeff. Even though it didn't really discuss them, it threw them out there. It did have some things they did have some discussion on. Don't get me wrong, but it didn't like really turn over. We hit it. We talked about it. We moved on. But they were all questions about one central idea. What is humanity? What made Skara worthy of and on an equal level with Chlorel?
What makes him have agency and ownership of the body? In fact, to further that, what this essentially said was the body is completely ancillary to the being. There's the being of Skara, the being of Chlorel, and one of them gets this body that happens to be here.
I mean, it's interesting. What was the very first argument Zapachna used? Goa'uld law.
Oh, yeah.
He was my slave, therefore he was my property. I was just doing what I want to do with my property. You can't tell me what to do with my property.
That's my property.
Yeah. It started there. And then it went to all the other stuff we've already discussed. So I'm going to give this 6 chevrons, Jeff.
I think that makes a lot of sense because one, it's just sheer volume, right? Sheer volume of everything that came through. But I think 6 is good. Well, had a whole thing I was going to go down, but we don't need to go there. So,
well, on the back of that, I just rated the episode, but Jeff, you get to rank the episode. You get to take this episode and you get to place it in our 100% completely accurate and definitive ranking of season 3 of Stargate SG1. Jeff, our current top 5, let's go through that, is Jolinar's Memories and The Devil You Know. We've combined them into one episode because that's what they were. Number 2 is Forever and a Day. Number 3 is Fair Game. Number 4 is Foothold from last week. Number 5 is Learning Curve. Jeff, I ask you, does this crack the top 5? And if so, where? And if not, still where?
It absolutely does. And this is one, a lot of times when we have episodes that have big messages to them and really puts it out there, a thing we've said quite a bit is incredible episode, incredible message, and I never want to watch it again. I think of Cold Lazarus, right? Where it's like, wow, that hit me, boom, and I'm not going to watch it again. This is a episode with so many messages, and some of them it dives into, and I'm dying to watch this one again. Not as much as Foothold. Like, I don't have that. I'm not going to run out of here and watch that one again, but I'm going to watch this episode again. This will not be a skip for me. I am going to make this, Brent, our new number 4 episode, dropping Foothold to number 5.
Wow. All right. I think it's low, but that's okay.
You think it should be higher?
I do.
Really?
I like this episode a lot.
It's a really good episode. But I mean, look at these the top 3 that it's not going to be number 1. Like there's number 1 here and then number 2. Like
I don't know about that. I don't know. I will say Jolinar's Memories and Devil You Know is definitely a spectacle.
Yes.
But I got to be honest, it's not an episode I love to go back to.
Really?
It's not an episode I ever go, let's go watch these episodes. Honestly, neither is Forever and a Day, but Forever and a Day is so poignant.
Mm-hmm.
Fair Game is a great one, but frankly, I'm going to this grouping of episodes right here, this Pretense, Foothold, a couple of the other ones coming up. I'm not going to tell you which ones. Like this back half of season 3 to me is pretty stellar.
Okay.
And we're just getting started on it. So that being said, Jeff, it's time to move on with the back half of season 3 because this is going to put a bow on Pretense. Jeff, would you like to know what we're watching next time here on Stargate SG1 for the first time?
Absolutely.
I love the title for this episode. Ergo. Give it a guess, Jeff. Good luck. Ergo. U-R-G-O. One word. Ergo.
U-R-G-O?
U-R-G-O.
I am. I was going to do a whole, I was like, oh, Ergo. Their chairs are hurting their backs and they need wrist rests for their mouses, but with a U? Ergo is going to be some dude's name. They're going to end up on I don't know, a ship. Like I'm thinking like a boat on the water, some transit thing. And there's going to be some dude named Ergo who's going to, they get lost and they end up on a boat and Ergo, Captain Ergo or whatever is going to help them sail the seas.
And they're going to fight a whale while they're at it and all that sort of stuff.
Chase it down. That's going to be the whole episode. They're going to be looking, trying to, he's like, I'm going to get that whale. You can call me Ishmael, but I go by Ergo.
There you go. So it's a water episode. That's what we're going with.
Yeah, water.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. You're not a good guesser, Jeff.
What do you say with It's not even a real word.
I told you. Good luck. Yeah. All right. Well, we will see exactly what happens here next time on Stargate SG1 for the first time. You guys make sure you definitely want to come back next week and find out if Jeff is right. Is it a water episode or not? Thank you guys so much for joining us here this week. Hey, listen, wherever you're getting this show, please don't forget to subscribe. Could be a podcatcher, could be an audio listener, could be out there on YouTube, could be out there on Audible, Podchaser, any of those sorts of places. Please subscribe to this show. Please leave us a rating and review. And the biggest thing you could do for us is share this show with someone whom you know who loves Stargate SG1 or who needs to get into the gate for the first time. So for my buddy Jeff over there, it's my name's Brent, and we're going to sign off. What's up, Jeff?
How many Goa'uld does it take to attack an advanced world?
I don't know, Jeff. How many Goa'uld does it take to attack an advanced world?
A gaggle of Goa'ulds.
Crying out loud. I feel like I missed something. A gaggle?
Yeah, it was what O'Neill said. So they was talking to Teal'c about all the Jaffa going around, and he's like, "Well, you're watching a gaggle of Goa'ulds, what, or something like that. You got to quit watching the gaggle of Goa'ulds."
I missed that. Completely missed. I'll own that. I missed it. Okay, cool.
I caught that, and I'm just like, that's ridiculous. I'm gonna use that.
Great. I like it. That's a good pull. I missed it altogether. Hey, listen, Club 65, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for sticking around to the very ending. You are now in the club. However, you're going to be out of the club here real soon because Jeff and I got to go.
We do. If you're on our Patreon, you know why we have to go.
Yeah. Yep. So we're going to get out of here. If you guys want to do that, patreon.com/bynerds. You can find out exactly why we got to go. There it is. You can find out exactly why we got to go. But you guys are amazing. I promise you a really good one for next week. But Jeff, we got to get out of here for right now.
See ya.